Good morning, Block 2. What a surprise that we're having an e-learning day today. Hopefully you have your device at home and you're ready for a e-learning day. I did not bring home my iPad, which is why I have a different setup here for my video lesson. We're going to just kind of take it easy in math today, and we're going to do a quick review of putting fractions in lowest terms. Remember, we talked about this a little bit yesterday when we were taking our notes in our red notebook. So if you have your red notebook, you can pull that out. But I'm going to title this Simplest Form Fractions. If you don't have your red notebook, you can just put this in on a sheet of paper and we'll keep it in our red math folder. Today is February 18th, 2021. Other ways to say simplest form are lowest terms and reducing fractions. All of that means simplest form, lowest terms, reducing fractions, all means that we are dividing our numerator and denominator by the same number until we can't divide it anymore. Okay, I'll give you a second to finish writing that down. I'm sorry, I don't have my iPad at home, so I'm recording from my phone, so my video is not as good. I'm also have it on top of a metal canister because I did not bring home my little arm that holds my iPad up for me. So I'm improvising, and I'm sure you're improvising as well. A couple of things to note. Fractions that are already in lowest terms. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. If they have a 1 in the numerator, that's probably not the right way to say that. A 1 as the numerator. Okay. If the numerator and denominator, I'll give you some examples. If the numerator and denominator are only 1 digit apart. So the first one in an example might be 1/5, 1/3, 1/100th. If 1 is the numerator, we know the only factor for 1 is 1. So there's no reason that we would divide the numerator and denominator by 1. That would give us the same fraction. If the numerator and denominator are only 1 digit apart, some examples are 2/3, 3/4, 9/10. That means they don't have any common factors. So there is not a number that the numerator and denominator can both be divided by. So we know that those types of fractions are already in simplest form, lowest terms, or reduced. Okay, the other situation when they are already in lowest terms is if they do not have any common factors. So my numerator and denominator do not have any common factors. So the first two are just kind of shortcuts for recognizing a fraction in lowest terms. The third one is going to take a little bit of thinking. So for example, 3/8. The factors for 3 are only 1 and 3. The factors for 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. They don't have any in common except for that 1. And remember, we said we would never divide by 1 because that doesn't change our fraction. I'm going to switch to a new sheet of paper because my camera is not very big. You can keep writing on the same sheet as long as you have room. So how do we put a fraction in simplest form if it's not already in simplest form? Let's do an example together. If I have the fraction 6/8, I can list the factors for 6, 1, 2, 3, and 6. It's helpful to list them in numerical order. Even if you have to do them as factor pairs over to the side, then it is helpful to put them in a list in order. The factor pairs for 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. So I am looking for factors that they have in common. It's easiest if you find the biggest one that they have in common first. Well, 6 and 8 can both be divided by 2. So if I divide 6/8 by 2 over 2, that gives me 3/4. Well, remember we said if a fraction, numerator and denominator, are only 1 digit apart, then it's in simplest form. So we have achieved our goal of putting that fraction in simplest form. Something that's always easy to look for is if your numerator and denominator are both even numbers, we know that they can be divided by 2. Let's look at another fraction. How about, excuse me, I am looking at the IXL that you're going to be doing. How about if we use the fraction 9/15? I can list the factors for 9 as 1, 3, and 9 because 1 times 9 is 9 and 3 times 3 is 9. The factors for 15 are 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. It's easy to see the greatest common factor is 3. If I divide the numerator and denominator by 3, I end up with 3/5. 3 and 5 do not have any common factors, so I can call that simplest form. Now let's come over here with a numerator and denominator that might have more than one common factor. 12/36. I know that 12 can be divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 36 can be divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. These have a lot of common factors. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. If I divide, let's say that I don't think of all the factors, so maybe I'm going to say, oh, I can divide each of those by 6. Then I end up with 2/6. I need to look again at my numerator and denominator and decide, can they both be divided by something else? Yes, they can. They're even numbers and they can both be divided by 2. So don't get tricked into thinking that you only have to divide one time. Always go back and look again and make sure they can't be divided again. Now, if you use the greatest common factor the first time, then you will only have to divide one time. Okay. I'm going to have you work on an IXL practicing greatest common factor or reducing fractions. If you have questions about it, please email me. You can get to a SMART score of 80 with 40 questions answered. But if you are missing lots of questions, please email me and I will set up a time to Zoom with you to help you through the IXL. I wasn't planning on an e-learning day today, and I don't want it to be stressful. You weren't planning on it, and I was not planning on it. So we are not going to stress. We're just going to do this IXL. And then if you have any work left from the e-learning day before, that was on Tuesday, or if you have not finished your Google Slides, you can work on those things. Hope everyone has a fun day.